Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Mary Ann. We're going to be starting shortly. We just are waiting for a few more people to join us. So we will begin in a few minutes. All right, well, we're going to begin, and as others join us, we can continue on. We just want to welcome you today to the University of Akron Transfer Services Community College Counselor and our contact update. Just wanted to welcome you, and we're excited that we're able to have this virtual platform to give you some updates on the University of Akron. My name is Mary Ann Stuila, and I have Helen here, my colleague, who is also going to be presenting, and we'll do some introductions here in a few seconds. Today we're going to be talking about, just here's kind of the agenda, our introductions of our office, our fall 2020 update, what does campus look like right now, and resources for students, how to apply for the upcoming semesters, tuition and scholarships in Q&A. There's a little chat button at the bottom. We ask that you indicate your questions. We're just going to be answering those at the end of the presentation because some of the questions you might have might be answered during the presentation. So if you do have a question, we'd be happy to answer it in the chat box at the bottom. All right, here's our zippy photos. My name is Mary Ann Stuila. We have our contact information under each of our names here at our transfer services office. The college names underneath our names are the colleges we frequent in Northeast Ohio, and we're open to helping any community college. It's just the ones that we visit often pre-COVID and are also working with virtually in addition to others. So I'm Mary Ann. Helen Duca here is helping. Kayla is unable to join us today, but she is also an admissions counselor in our office, and Greg helps our office as well. He's the Associate Director of Admissions and helps with CCP. So a big question for fall of 2020 is how did the fall 2020 semester start? What did it look like for students? So about 50% of our classes were in person or a hybrid option. About 50% were all online. We're getting some questions from prospective students as far as how does the spring semester look? And right now we don't know how the spring semester format will be. The schedule will be coming out in mid-November, early November to mid-November, so we'll have more information as far as what the semester will look like. But I know that is a common question for prospective students. You know, are they going to be taking more online classes, in person? Because as we all know, they do have their preferences. So as we have more information, we will definitely update you on how our spring 2020 term will look like. So something we're excited about with our academics is our newly launched online programs. These programs can be found on our website, uakron.edu, online with more information, but These are 100% online programs, and they include allied healthcare administration, 2 communications programs, public relations and strategic and organizational communications, our criminology and criminal justice programs, emergency management and homeland security. We have our nursing RN to BSN program all online, our organizational supervision, and sociology. So we're really excited for this new opportunity for students that have been interested in taking more online classes, and we have a lot of more information on our website. At UA, we have over 200 undergraduate majors, and we have a list here of some common majors that transfer students are interested and plan to pursue.
Hi. Hi. So I'm just going to take a little bit of time to share what some of the different services and resources are that we can offer the students on your campus that might be thinking about transferring. So one of the big things that we offer are one-on-one appointments with students. So we are able to offer those virtually and in person now. So we have implemented some safety precautions in order to be able to provide those in-person services in a safe manner. So just some of the ways that we're making sure students are staying safe and healthy. We are requiring masks when you're on campus. We are enforcing the social distancing guideline of the 6-foot separation in our appointments. And we do have some limitations on how many guests students are able to bring with them. And that's information that we communicate with them prior to arriving on campus. And the information is on our website as well. And those kind of precautions also go for the campus tours that we're offering in person. So we do have virtual options for campus tours as well, but if students want to get an in-person view, we are offering those. So we're excited to have students back on campus with us. Both of those options, tours and one-on-one appointments, students can request those through our website. We have an online appointment request form that's available through the transfer website where students can request both the virtual and in-person appointments. And they can also indicate if they want that campus tour, tell us a little bit more about them and what some of their questions might be. They can always give our office a call or even email one of us if they want to have something set up. During those one-on-one appointments, typically what's covered is we go over the admissions process. We talk specifically about the students' transfer credits. One of the big things we offer is the transfer credit evaluation. So students, if they share their course history with us through either an unofficial transcript or their just course registration, we can put together an evaluation that shows how their credits are going to transfer and loosely apply to the program. Another thing that we offer are institution-specific transfer pathways and guides. So those are available on our websites, the ones that we already have created. So the transfer pathways are going to be guides that show you kind of starting out at an institution in a specific program, what you take at one institution, and how your time at UA would look if you're following that pathway. The guides that we have a few different types of guides. Some of them are just for the general education requirements at the specific institutions. Some of them may be specific for a program. So for example, business might have a specific transfer guide for your institution. We offer assistance for veterans. So if you have a student that has a joint services transcript or an ACE transcript, our office can assist in having those evaluated. Marianne is our contact for that. But we also have a military services center, and while that is a different office in our building, we can definitely make sure students get whatever services and kind of connections they need there. And then something that we're really starting to try to offer more is virtual webinars with specific academic units at the University of Akron. So if you have a pocket of students on your campus that are expressing an interest in a specific program, be it engineering, business, psychology, and you think they would really benefit from hearing from a representative at UA, we are hoping to be able to provide that for you. So definitely reach out to us if you're seeing in kind of anything trending with a certain academic area on your campus, because we want to help you out and get the students the information they need. So at the University of Akron, we have a tool called the Transfer Equivalency Database. And this is something that is available on our website. If you're not familiar with it, the Transfer Equivalency Database, we call it TED frequently. It is similar to transferology if you have any experience with transferology. Transferology traditionally lists the different institutions, and students can go on and input what classes they've either taken at one institution and see what matches there are, either at one specific institution, or they can select like a broad range of institutions to see how that coursework will transfer. So transferology is still an accurate tool if students or campus counselors are using that. But the difference is with TED is that TED is specific to the University of Akron and it's updated daily. Transferology is updated with new equivalencies on a weekly basis, which is still a really great tool, but there is just a little bit of a quicker update happening on TED. The website to take a look at TED is uakron.edu/transfer/TED. So if anybody wants to, if anyone needs a little bit extra assistance understanding how to use TED, I would be happy to do a little bit of a one-on-one tutorial with you to, familiarize yourself. But essentially, you're able to select the country, state, and then institution that you essentially have coursework from. And then you can show by department the course equivalency, and it'll show if it's in our system, if we have an equivalency for it, and what that equivalency is. So it's just kind of a nice spot check to be able to use, because you can use it at any time of the day and know that it's updated and extremely accurate.
So looking ahead for the spring 2021 term, summer, and for fall, our application is available. It's an all online application that takes about 5 to 10 minutes for a student to complete. Our spring 2021 application deadline is December 21st. We, however, do encourage students to submit their materials, the application, well before December, so that there's enough time to process, review their application, and also make sure that they're en route for the next steps with orientation and have access to a good schedule for the spring term. So what we're excited about too is in the past we've had a $50 application fee. That fee is waived for the spring and fall term, so there's no application fee. What we do require is for an applicant to submit official college transcripts from all colleges attended. So if they have attended multiple institutions, we would need original official transcripts from each institution. If a student has not earned an associate's degree, we do require an official high school transcript. And as far as requirements to be eligible for admission, students have to have a cumulative GPA of a 2.0 or higher to be eligible for admission review to UA. A common question transfer students have, besides how do my credits transfer, and Helen covered that, is also what is the cost? So our fall 2020 to spring 2021 tuition rate for Ohio residents, which includes the tuition and fees, is $11,635. For non-Ohio residents, the price would be $15,500. This does not include room and board or a meal plan. This is tuition and fees. A full-time student at UA is considered full-time if they're taking between 12 and 18 credit hours. The fees that are included in that tuition or part of tuition and attending Akron are like parking pass, access to our rec center, and there is free admission to all athletic home games on campus. So those are our current rates for tuition.
So the Akron Guarantee Scholarship is really our big scholarship that our transfer student population is considered for. So the Akron Guarantee Scholarship, there's no separate application. If students are meeting the deadlines and requirements for admission for the term, they are going to be considered for the Akron Guarantee Scholarship. The initial award is based on the cumulative GPA at the time of admission. So if you have a student that may have gone to other institutions other than your institution, that is just something to keep in mind when considering whether they may be eligible for or what award they would be eligible for. The initial award is based on that incoming GPA, like I mentioned. So there's 3 brackets that they could be eligible for, and based on GPA. And then the award increases as students earn credits with the University of Akron. So they continue to receive the initial award and then can get awards on top of it. Just to mention the other criteria for this award, students have to have between 12 and 90 credit hours. So when you're planning with them, depending on their situation, and again, if they have credits from other institutions, it could be something to be mindful of if it may, affect whether or not they are eligible. We do have other scholarship opportunities for transfer students. A lot of those are housed in the Office of Financial Aid. One of the ones that I would definitely encourage students to take a look at are the private and endowed scholarship. That application is available through the financial aid website again. There is a template application that they can fill out, and then they will be considered for any of the private endowed scholarships that they would qualify for. So by filling out that one application. And then something else we want to really encourage students to consider while they're at your institution. Transfer students are eligible to join the Williams Honor College at the University of Akron. So the requirements are the GPA upon admission. We're looking at a 3.6 composite GPA and under 64 college credits earned at your institution before you transfer. So some of the benefits, there's a $1,000 renewable scholarship, and that can be added on to the Akron Guarantee Scholarship or any of the other scholarships we kind of touched on. Students receive priority registration. They have an honors advisor in addition to their regular academic advisor, and then access to a common area and computer lab that is specific to honors students. So there is more information online, and it is something students can plan for, or a little bit of a holistic review process. So definitely take a look at that with the students, and if there's any kind of questions they may have, I encourage them to reach out. So just a couple of different ways to stay engaged with the Transfer Center and the University of Akron in general. So we have our general transfer@uakron.edu email. So even though we had our contact information at the beginning of the presentation for the individual team members, transfer@uakron.edu is a good way to, just get connected with our office. We also have a really great account on Instagram called Life of a Zip. So Life of a Zip is showing current UA students on their daily life as a UA student. So I think it's a really great way to kind of just see what it's like from the student perspective. Of course, we have University of Akron on Facebook, and then we also have Snapchat and Instagram. So if you kind of want to just see it from a different lens, there's some really great content on those slides or on those different platforms.
So we offer additional virtual visits. So besides the in-person appointments that Helen was mentioning, we also have opportunities for students to join us on Transfer Tuesdays, where we have presentations, information about campus and applying to the University of Akron. So if there's different ways for students to reach us, to meet with us, to get more information, and this website's very helpful for them to visit. And as Helen mentioned earlier, if there are programs that you're interested in learning more about, that your students are interested in learning more about, we'd be happy to provide updates. Our faculty are very open and willing to share information on their programs and would appreciate that opportunity. So if there are any programs you would like us to focus on, please let us know, and we can follow up and give you more opportunities, information. So now we were going to start the Q&A portion of our presentation. There were a few questions that were sent in prior to this morning, so we wanted to address those. And if there's any questions you have, feel free to include them in the chat, and we would be happy to answer those. So I know one of our first questions we have is, when does the spring 2021 term begin? That would be Monday, January 11th. So that's when our spring term begins after the holidays. Another question that was submitted was, what is the status of our nutrition and dietetics programs? So as of right now, although we no longer offer the coordinated or dietetic programs, we do offer a food and environmental nutrition program. And this program offers strong food science and nutrition-based curriculum that also includes like business and management components. So we still do offer that program in our food and nutrition department.
Marianne, we had another question. Was the tuition and fees listed for the semester or for the full academic year?
Oh, do you want to go back to that slide maybe?
Sure. I do believe it was for the full year.
It's the full academic year, but just so people can see that again. So that would be $11,635 for the whole year. So per semester would be around between $5,500 and $6,000.
And then we have another question. What education programs are offered through the new online modality K through 12 licensure options?
So the programs that I listed online, currently there's no education programs that are 100% online. There may be some classes in those specific programs and licensures that are offered online, but the entire degree for our education programs are in-person degrees.
So we had a question, if somebody was interested in discussing a possible articulation agreement for engineering, for example, who would they contact?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So our office is kind of the go-between between a lot of community colleges and the departments when it comes to pathways and articulation agreements. So we have a great group of people in our College of Engineering. Renee Timberlake is our main contact for engineering, and we would be happy to provide more information and connect that person with Renee as well. So we can start that discussion on articulation agreements and pathways that could be developed.
Great questions.
Any other questions that we can address? Well, we appreciate everyone's time in joining us this morning. We plan to have follow-up updates via email to let you know updates on the spring semester. Again, how are those courses going to be offered for students? And we hope to have additional virtual opportunities in the fall still and in the semesters ahead. So we thank you for your time, and we hope that you all have a good rest of your Wednesday.